Dear friend, even you are non-believer, even you are Christian or any tradition, if you come here because you know that in each of you there is a source of understanding, of love, of clear mind, very great in you, and that even the most cruel pirate like Angulimala, who killed many hundred people, but he still to respect that because the word stop. We stop to let our mind to think of that so many things. Go back to yourself, and that is the bell. The bell is, I can give real Dharma talk about the bell when he was a little child, so on. But we must know that if you come here, please remember that the bell is our deepest teaching. And when you hear the bell, we have to stop. And I remember that in the moment where I was the most desperate, during the war in Vietnam, there are moments where I cross the fire zone because they hear that they are sick, they are wounded, and they need our help. At that moment, I have another believer. I say that if Jesus is great, if Avalokitesvara is great, they must come and help these people. But there is no Avalokitesvara, no God. I must be. Let them borrow my body. And so I go with the arm of Avalokitesvara. I said, you take care. You take care of the bullet, not me. If you want me to save how many people, I just cross the fire zone and you take care. Then I went there, it's no problem. But when finally I found more than 16,000 people in the West helping more than 16,000 hungry children, lost their parents, live very poor in many areas, and I can establish the running of the support. We send money sent from Holland, from Germany, from other country. They go in, they give only $5 per month for a child. And we do not take 1% or 2% of at all of these $5 per month. And then we can send to Vietnam a lot, more than 150,000 every 3 months. And then when the new regime arrived, I cannot do anything. They block everything. Money I send to the bank, block. Big amount they block, of course, but small amount of $100 to a little sister in the remote area, and she's also famous in the area, it was also blocked. And there's no way for me to do anything. I sent 4,000 kilogram, no, 4,000 ton, 4,000 tons of rice via Red Cross in Thailand. And in Thailand, the group of Thai people who support Thai, at that moment they are very pro government of Vietnam, the new regime. And they said, never mind, I will send. No, 4,000 ta cannot reach Vietnam. And then one day I came to the embassy. I said that at that moment there were no computer, so no file you can note the name of a child. We do it in a kind of fish. Fish is mean the piece of paper about half of the page only. And I put the name of the child and the place where they live, with daycare center they live, and with the name of their father died of what, mother died of what, and then the sponsor and the name of the sponsor underneath. And I put the telephone of the name of the sponsor. So I risked to go to the Vietnamese embassy at that moment. Nobody there to, there are those who say that in the opposite side. They want to bring the bomb and they explode. I said, no, they have the Buddha too. They are the Buddha too. So I came to the embassy. I request for 15 minutes, but they received me 2 hours because I explained how I sent money, and then I said that you can take any fish, any postcard paper, and you take, and that Lê Thị Mai. Lê Thị Mai is sponsored by Marc Devenage. Then you read underneath, Marc Devenage telephone such have given Monday already, no, January already, February, March already, not. And April they have not sent. And you can call her, say, do you receive, do you do anything about Vietnam? Yes, I have a child, adopt child. And then she said correctly. So it means that you can verify the money, where it's come from. Because in Vietnam at that time, they are afraid that we are disguised CIA, agents of secret agency. And they know that it's clean money. And I persuade, and the agent of the embassy was so amazed. And they loved my story. And instead of receiving me 15 minutes, they received me 2 hours. And inside, they opened the door. Why she stayed too long? Finally, they persuade the ambassador to write a paper saying that I have received 150,000 US dollar from Sister Trang Khong and will be transmitted to Vietnam to Hòa Thượng Trí Thủ. That amount of money for hungry children. And they wrote that paper. And I go home, I give the check, but the money never arrived. 6 months, 1 year. Only after 1 year that Hòa Thượng Trí Thủ sent me a telegram saying that he never received. At that moment, I want to die. I have no hope to do anything. And then Thầy have to cut on the relation. We have an office. Thầy said, you don't stay here. You go to Sweet Potatoes community. It's kind of a hermitage for those of us who work so hard and we need a retreat. We went there, and all the office have been closed. And we all, at that moment, only 9%. We went there, and Thầy asked them to dig the garden and do, and we have time for walking meditation. But I cannot, after walking meditation, I cannot do anything. And Thầy have to shout to me, you have to save yourself because you are waiting for your mom to come. And if she come and then you die here, who take care of her? So I have to leave for my mom to arrive on the paper. It's very difficult. And you have to leave. But I have no energy to do anything. I said, now we are planting lettuce. No, everybody do it. I do not want. I want to die. And at that moment, that she said that somebody, 2 or 3, have to go with me, because if not, I don't know what I do in the house. People go and gardening outside, and I may commit suicide. I don't know. So Thầy is afraid. So Thầy asked one sister who stay with me, and then after that, I have no joy to live at all. But she said that now we cook because they work so hard. You want Thầy die? No, I don't want Thầy die. Maybe I want to die, but I don't want Thầy die. So I said, okay. So I have to cut carrot, I peel carrot, or I peel pumpkin, and we do, but I try my best. And so finally, I advise my friend, if you are pushed in the situation like that, then not only you, because Thầy said, you have to breathe, and you have to dwell in the moment where you do what. And then at that moment, I said that you have to breathe, but we miss one point. You have to change the environment. So after that, I have many friends when we have private consultation. Yeah, my very beloved one, I think that we we live, and I think that he will live on his life with me. And then I just learned that he betrayed me and so on, and I was like a tiger. And I remember that there is a book of Thai saying that taming your tiger. It means helping you to tame the anger in you. And in that book, it said that I have to walk. So I walk, and then I was exhausted, but I walk, and slowly, slowly, at the end of the night, I, and so I propose that if you are in the case of that woman, I told her, you better move outside of the apartment where you live with him, because he betrayed you. And when you look at the window, you and him have been sitting there. If you are eating, you and him have been eating there. You move to a new place. Don't stay in the same place where all the detail of the environment remind you of the suffering. So that is far away from the place. So it means in my case, Thai cut the office. I am no longer allowed to stay in the office in Paris. And then even with the new environment, I cannot do walking meditation alone. We have a sister who take my hand. And then when I cook, I have to have one sister to cook with me. So that is to change the environment. And after a few hours, and Thai also sometimes have very difficult situation. And he wrote a poem, Dục an, tak an. It means if you want to have peace, you have peace. And but in very beautiful calligraphy. And he looked at that, and he continued to do walking meditation around. And it helped. So that is to help you to avoid this difficult situation. And you change the environment, new environment, new environment. Some interesting work, some little interesting work, and slowly you can do it.
To continue with, Shiko has just shared about how to deal with suffering. It's very important to change environment and practice mindfulness. I will read a question and then we listen to one sound of the bell and Shiko will share more. There's a question written by one of our friends. I stopped reading the news, but I can still feel the suffering of the world. How can I learn to accept that there is so much suffering?
I think that we have the notion about suffering, and we think that the world is terrible and so on. But what I try to learn during my life, sometimes when the suffering is so great, I said, okay, I accept all the suffering. Maybe look in this side, it look like suffering, but in the other side, maybe it's a good idea. Because the wave is going up and it's dying. And the wave is desperate because the wave is dying. But she didn't know, he didn't know that after dying, he becomes something great. Maybe stronger, better wave. And so you lost a son and he died, and you think that he died. But maybe he is the fresh wind who caress your cheek and said, Mom, don't be so sad. I'm here. I am the caressing wind on your cheek. Smile. So try to see the opposite side. You look in that side, it look like pessimistic. Other side maybe good thing. And I remember Thai, a little girl. And Thai, I have a kitty, and now my kitty died already. How I can console myself? And Thai said, the kitty maybe die, but it's become something caressing wing. He said, hey Lily, I'm here, I'm here. Smile. Don't be worried. Don't be so sad. So Kitty will be that fresh wind who carries your face. And don't think that your kitty is suffering, dying, and rotting terribly. No, it's become a fresh wind. So you think that don't think of the evanescence. It's good. Maybe it need to be refreshed again and become different. I hope that you can see it with a deep, like the little girl who see the kitty die, rotting, and now the kitty is a caressing wind to her. So the situation is look like you said that's terrible. How they can be so bad? But maybe that is the starting of something new, refreshing, beautiful. I would like to share a song about here is the Pure Land. Thai tried to teach the Vietnamese first because they lost their country and they are both people arrive here in the West. Everything is wonderful for their sponsor, but it's terrible for both people. And Thai said, teach them by đây là tịnh độ. Đây là tịnh độ là đây, mỉm cười chánh niệm an trú hôm nay. Bụt là lá chín, pháp là mây bay, tăng thân khắp chốn quê hương nơi này. Thở vào hoa nở, thở ra rụng rãi, tâm không ràng buộc, tiêu dao tháng ngày. Here is the pure land is here. I dwell in mindfulness and dwell in the present moment. The Buddha is seen in an autumn leaf, the Dharma in a floating cloud. The Sangha body is everywhere. My true home is right here. Breathing in, flowers are blooming. Breathing out, I am aware that bamboo are swaying. My mind is free. I am enjoy every moment. Here is the pure land. The pure land is here. I smile in mindfulness and dwell in the present moment.
Here is the pure land is here. I smile in mindfulness and dwell in the present moment. The Buddha is seen in an autumn leaf, the Dharma in a floating cloud, the Sangha body is everywhere. My true home is right here. Breathing in, flowers are blooming. Breathing out, I am aware that bamboo is swaying. My mind is clear and I enjoy every moment.
I hope that you remember the words. And sometimes we sing at home, it's wrong music, it's okay. I remember that the moment where I was disappointed, but I managed to send not all to 16,000 orphans, but a few dozen here and few dozen there. And I also teach them to sing. And at that moment, there is Từ Thị Can Schmidt, is a German friend who helped us, but silently. He only came to Vietnam as tourist, and then he sneaked money to my friend, and then he visit our school, our maternal school where I feed the children at noon. And he came, and he asked them to sing. If they sing well a song like "Breathe Here Is a Pure Land," and he know that is correct, that is enough for him to be sure that the money arrive on the right place. And so he came, and the only thing that when you transmit the song to another person, to another person, to the fifth person is not the same song, but the words are the same. So so they tape and they sent to me, and I said, and there is I vow to develop understanding, and ha ha. So I sing. I see the children sing. What I didn't understand. I from the South Vietnam. They are from Quảng Trị and remote area in the mountain of Quảng Trị. I didn't even understand in Vietnamese, but I see that. Ha. I said, okay, that's correct. Even the wrong music, even the wrong pronunciation in a very dialectic way in the mountainous area, but ha, so I know that it's okay.
Shiko has shared about your practice when you face the suffering in the world. Now there's also suffering in a smaller circle, in the family. So there's a question. Dear respected sister, you told us a story of you living in a small community and preparing a meal for all of you, share a nice time with fire food. But men prefer to watch tennis play on TV. How can we accept our partner's preference, such as watching TV, when I believe it is right view to think that a nice meal shared with a community is more important and useful? So the difference in likings. And another sangha, another question in French. Chère taille, chère sœur, chère sangha, comment puis-je aider mon bien-aimé qui a une addiction avec l'alcool ce soir au moment de se retourner en famille? The question is, how can I help my beloved one who is addicted to alcohol this evening, the moment when I go home, go back to my family?
So in the first letters, how you can stop your husband to be addicted to athletic sport? No, alcohol is the second one. The first one is what? He like tennis or something sport. TV. I have been told only the failure of few cases, like TV. I have to surrender because there is during the time where we work a lot for hungry children, but still there is the young born. I don't know if those who play tennis in the age of your grandma, because I'm 85 already. So at that moment there are so many people now, so addicted to young born play of tennis. So I said that, why you love that? And he said, look, bam, bam. And I train to accept that it's beautiful. So I agree. But I bargain. After tennis, 1 hour of translating, and then after that you continue. And so they agree. And then I also accept, and I see that that is kind of nirvana for for our boy, our young man who come and help me with the translation of file of orphans in Vietnam. So I we agree to stop everything, look at John Born, and after John Born, we have half hour or 45 minutes to translate the file of orphans, because sometimes we receive 500 dossier file of orphans, and in Netherlands they want 35, and no one want to translate now because it's John Born. So I have to accept that. You look at John Born playing tennis. After that, you spend 45 minutes, and all of us have to translate until we have how many file of orphan and things like that. So I negotiate, but addict to alcohol, I don't know. There is one sister, Trang Chua Sơ, she told me that every evening when her father come home with alcohol, he's totally drunk, and he beat and he shout and he do everything. And she cry, and the mother cry, and the whole family cry. And then when he went to sleep, and she wrote a letter, Daddy, when you go home without alcohol, you were so sweet. You look at me, you help my calculation, my math, you help my brother, you help us, and the family is in like in paradise. But last night you go back full of alcohol, and you are really a terrorist for us, and we suffer and we cry a lot, and we cry silently. We even do not dare to cry in front of you. But she wrote nicely like that. And the early morning he wake up, he read that letter, and he cried too. And he called and he apologized for that. But he still continued to drink in the afternoon. But she continued to write. And one day, slowly he stopped. Not immediately, but when somebody is addicted to something, it's not easy to ask them to stop. And then she described the contrast between you come back full of alcohol, shout at us, and we are so terrorized by you. And then the mom cry silently. We all cry here, and then until we have until you are tired and you go to sleep, and we can sleep. Please, Daddy, please think of us. And the only thing, I don't know what to do. I know many cases they divorce, but they divorce, and the family have seen, the family of the husband have seen that he's so bad, so the family bring đầu rượu. It means preparing for a real new wedding to the former wife, who are afraid of that her husband who have been alcoholic. And then finally they have already 2 children. So trường hợp bác em, and come back and have 3 children, and he alcoholic again, and he get a lot of debt. So the wife have to live with 5 children and go feed their own children. They do not live together. So I don't know how to resolve that problem until now. If any of you have other experience who worth to be shared and to be imitated by other, please do it. But for me, I know 2 cases. Trang Chu Sư, she wrote so lovely letter to her father. Her father sometimes stopped to drink alcohol 1 evening or 2 evening, but often he come back with a lot of alcohol. But that is a daughter who write loving letter. And other case that back I know, they finally they have to divorce. But then the family, the husband have seen that my brother have a wonderful wife, so they come back and they demand the forgiveness and come back. And they come back at the beginning they have 2 children. They come back for 5 children. He continue to drink alcohol, and then finally she have to live alone with 5 children to feed them by herself. That is very difficult. We surrender. I don't know if any of you Sometimes the merit of the family, you never know. There is a grandpa who is so loving and coming and so try to persuade. Sometimes a grandma who come to the person who have that sickness of alcoholic, you can explain. But really, because every one of us is a Buddha. When you touch earth, you pour the weakness of your father, and maybe, maybe the ADN of great grandpa teach you the way that you can help. But really, because we in Buddhism we have no separate self. We have ourself with a number of ADN of our father, mother, but we also have ADN of our 8 generation before, and we have no time to reach them. But if you practice touching the earth later on until you touch that deep part of the great ancestor and he showed the way. And I have seen some case I cannot understand how to explain, but now I explain vaguely like that. I'm not sure it's correct, but there is case where they are alcoholic, they divorce, and they have seen that life is so miserable without his wife, and then he abandoned for a while, and then he come back, but slowly it works in some case. And I give that merit to the great grandpa ADN, great grandpa of each generation before, who can persuade, make him awake. There is a dentist who told me the same problem. He said that he suffered of his father, who are very good father, but every time a young woman fresh approach him and offer to him, and he's ready to betray his wife, and then when he told me, and now I have the same disease like my father. I have a wonderful wife, 2 children, but my secretary is so young, even at the age of my daughter, but she's ready to offer to be my mistress. And shall I touch the earth? I said, no, only look deeply moment where you suffer. And you look deeply the moment where your daughter will suffer. And so day after, he abandoned right away that mistress. And so, and I give that like the merit of many generations before, who make him so strong that he can abandon that tentative to betray his wife. I have to tell you something more joyful. Hugging meditation. There is one lady who came. She was South America, and she was a doctor, medical doctor, but she fell in love with her husband, who are North American, and then she abandoned her job, her career, and she became only a nurse to marry that physician in North America. And so that Thai give a retreat for psychotherapists, and they come and they prepare to learn Buddhist psychotherapists, in which way. And Thai said that when the bells sound, you stop and you breathe and you smile. And one day Thai teach hugging meditation, and he told the story that one day I came to the West, and that family helped me a lot. But finally, at the end, the husband have to go early, and his wife go back and stay back in order to prepare breakfast for Thai before Thai left their house. And so she said that, Thai, when I bring you to the airport, can I hug you? In the West, we have to hug friend before we leave. And he told, why not? Yes. But when they are about to depart, she hold him. He was like a lock. And after that, she left. And he said, this is not hugging meditation. If you behave like a lock, And somebody hug you, they hug a lot. It's better than hug a man. So I have to learn. And so he said that hugging meditation for me is like tea bag. In Vietnam, in Asia, we make tea, we dry the tea not in the sunshine, in the warm shade area, and then slowly it become thin, and you put in a tea bag, and then you keep in the way that the perfume will not disperse, and then you hot water, put tea bag, too bad, so good. So I will do hugging meditation. So you go back to your breath, like you hear. Before you hug somebody, you behave like the. You go back to your tea bag. Don't lose the perfume. Breathe in, calm. Breathe out, relax. I restore myself as my best, and I look at the person in front of you. If is this my a very good friend, maybe we are living for a long time, and then I hug my friend, and like Thầy Châu Đức and Thầy other monk, but very friendly to Thầy, like Thầy Châu Đức, like Thầy Châu Toàn, is very great. And so you hug your friend with loving kindness. And there is one doctor who came to that retreat. He didn't learn anything about Buddhist psychology, but at least he come back, and his wife come, and he remember the nurse who was her in Colombia, not the doctor, and now she came to North America. She only can be a nurse, but not a medical doctor like in her country. So she sacrificed everything for the love for me. And now she have one son. They have one son, two daughters, wonderful. And that person is so precious to me. So he passed few seconds, but on the historical sacrifice his wife have done for him. So he hugged her deeply, deeply, and it lasts quite long. And then after they open their arm, she looked at him. Why? Why you do like that to me? I do hugging meditation. Hugging I know, but meditation I don't know. Because I meditate that you have been a medical doctor in Colombia, and you abandon your job, you become a nurse here, and you become my wife, and you give me a wonderful son, second son, etc. So that hugging meditation. Are you happy? Yes. Who is him? Who is her? No, it's a monk. A monk teach you like that? Yeah, he live in France. Oh, it's too far. I cannot come. Anyway, you can hug your son like I have you. And that is, she signed up for the next retreat, and she told the story. So hugging meditation, you can hug very deep in that way. And we have to use our intelligence, the Buddha in ourselves, to correct. So it's reconciled so many family. There is one son who have been born in United States. The father born in Vietnam in education camp, hate communists, hate many new regime. But then, and the boy grow in United States like any boy. You are born in a wealthy family. When you are hungry, you have something for your breakfast, for your lunch, for your dinner. And he longed to have blue jean, and the upper part of the blue jean also very elegant a jacket, very elegant. And but if the family have something, they send to Vietnam, to hungry children, to hungry prisoner, but never. So the boy worked in McDonald's in order to have some spare money, and so he made a real blue jean and jacket, and he asked permission to go for a party. And of course, the father cannot say no. But then when he spent 11 p.m., midnight, he come back, and the father wait until the son put out their blue jean. He used a knife, he cut the blue jean. You don't know that your Vietnamese patriots are dying in a eradication camp. You enjoy your time. He behaved an adult who have prison like him, and the son hate him. And in many cases, the father or the mother shout at the children, "You cannot be so good children," and so they jump into the river. They die. And so Thai said that I have heard many stories like that. Don't wait until your son jump into the river. Tonight you go home and you hug him. And Thai proposed that you go home, you have the key to open the door. Maybe at 11 o'clock you have meeting with your friend, and then you discover that your son is waiting, but he didn't open the door because he know that father have the key. But he's so sad. And there are many cases that they jump from 11th floor to the floor and they die. And so Thai proposed that you come in, you hug your son. Even without his consentment, you just hug. Kind of kidnap hugging. You just hug and you say that. If you are good father, you can say, Daddy is sorry. Daddy is sorry. Daddy do not understand your age and the environment where you grow up is not the same than father. Please forgive me. And when you hug by the back, it's easy to say, but if you look at the face, it's difficult. So the father have done, and it's safe. But it's safe in many cases. We have very good friend. That father loved Thai a lot, but read only, never attend any retreat. And then one day I heard the story that his son born in the West, but that father have been in education camp, terrorized and suffer a lot in education camp. And now the son in the US grow up in a very US citizen young boy way, and then he jumped into the soil and he died. And from that day, I always remind that if you have a problem with your son, don't wait tonight. You go back. You have to find a way to hug him in a sudden way. And there is one young man who his mom always open the mouth is for shouting the brother, you are con bất hiếu, you have no love for me. And my sister, she also shout, and then he know that he's too young to help mom. So he wait until mom that morning, she just washed her dish, going out from the toilet fresh, and he hide behind, and then by the back she hugged the mother. Mom, I love you. Not only I love you, but my sister also love you. My brother also love you. My brother abandoned his job in Texas and he moved to California, and the salary is very little in comparison with his salary in the past. But you also complain about him. You complain about my sister. We all love you. Don't wait until something sad happen. And so after that, they reconcile. So to tell you, you can do hugging meditation for somebody you have problem. You hug, and by the back, you can tell everything, you apologize, and it reconciles. That is hugging meditation.
A song.
There is a song, Anger. I hold my face in my two hands. I hold my face in my two hands. My hand hollow to catch what might fall from within me, deeper than crying. I am not crying. I hold my face in my two hands. I hold my face in my two hands. My hands hollow to catch what might fall from within me, deeper than crying. I am not crying. I am in my two hands. I am not crying. I am in my two hands. Dear friends, even you don't have any anger with anyone, but when you go back home this time, you do not only hugging the person you love, but hugging meditation. And I'm sure in your way, you know, in which way you will make them very happy. And next time, if you ask to go to a retreat at Plum Village, maybe she can join you.
Thank you, Shiko, for the real stories, very moving stories, and for telling us the history of the practice of hugging meditation, how they invented that practice. Now, we have listened to your sharing how to reconcile with other people. Now we have a question of how to love ourselves. Dear Sister Khong, sometimes I feel it is difficult to be beautiful and be myself because it is difficult for other people to accept me as I am. How can I practice with this?
That is, I found the question by myself because it's me. At 11 o'clock, I look at the glass. Oh, I would like to be like, and especially I was influenced by the family. At that moment, they said, you have the nose like Daniel Darrieux. At that moment, Daniel Darrieux is very beautiful. I don't remember how she was, but you have to have the nose like that, and your nose is too low. And you have to have the eyes like somebody. That in my case. But in other case, like one woman told me that when she brought home her mathematics note, your note is like that. You are not deserved to carry the shoes of your cousin. That is not only that woman, but many, also many young people wrote to Thai saying that, yeah, my father, not to Thai, but to the family, Daddy, you said that I must be very good like the son of Bak Hoi. I can never be like him. I am myself. And then I better drown myself. And he drowned in the river in Quebec because he cannot be deserved as good as the son of Bak Hoi. And many father and mother, in my case, it's only my sister, but they said that you need to have the nose like that, you need to have the eyes like that, that other. So you, in the case you receive self-judgment of yourself, don't think that is your self-judgment. You have been trained by other around you who say that you must have a long nose like that, you must have a skin like that, you must be good in mathematics like that. That is where that is mom, it's not me. I'm okay with you have to self esteem yourself. No, I am not be persuaded by all these wrong judgment. Until one day, one man I love your nose a lot because your nose look like the nose of my mom and my nose. You see, so the beauty or the ugliness it depends on each person. So for my family, I have ugly nose, but that man who loved me said, "Have beautiful nose, look like the nose of my mom." So don't trust them if you don't self-esteem of yourself, because that is sentence of my sister, that is sentence of my auntie, that is sentence of other. No, I know who I am, and you just esteem yourself. I'm a Buddha to be. Even Angulimala can become a Buddha, why not me? So you just esteem yourself.
What is the importance of rituals in the practice? If I feel uncomfortable doing them, can I still practice the practices that help me and take refuge in the Plum Village Sangha?
The Buddha have taught us everything is impermanent, and ritual is also impermanent. It's in some case ritual is very important, in other case ritual is against. So some ritual, like you said that my broken nose is okay. For my ritual is broken nose is bad because people say that you have to have a long nose, high, like Daniel Darrieux, like that. But now you change that ritual. You said, okay, if ritual help, do it. In fact, Thầy Pháp Niệm is one of the monastic brother who chant very beautifully many gatha of patriarchs. But when Thầy read, it's not as beautiful like Thầy use a bell and cut in that part 2 words, but and divide the whole 2 sentences into something very ritual. And we see so beautiful. And from that day, even Thầy went to China, and we only know all these những bài kệ đó, long poem, but kind of more ritual, like of all the poem of the many patriarchs. And then Thầy cut 2 sentences, and Thầy Pháp Niệm sing 4 words, and then add the ritual part, and it's so beautiful. And in China, Thầy have no complex. Now, before we recite, evoke the Buddha Shakyamuni, we do some ritual, and Thầy Pháp Niệm sing, and Thầy do it so beautifully, and the ritual help. But before that, Thầy Pháp Niệm sang is not so, without ritual is not helpful. But in other case, if ritual difficult for you, just forget it. Practice, but if you forget the ritual, you have to dwell into the deep meaning of that gatha that you do it, and it will be very profound too. If you dwell profoundly every word of the gatha, and then it become like ritual for you, because you are not used to all the bum bong and then one word and bong, so on. So the ritual is embedded by us, and it depends on each person. You don't need to force yourself to do like us. If you feel that you are more happy to recite that sutra by yourself without the ritual, just do it. It's okay. This song have been written by Jean-Pierre Maradon, a practitioner like you. He spent only 1 month in Plum Village, and after that he loved me, appreciate, not fell in love, but appreciate me a lot for my work for hungry children and so on. And so he composed for me. And everybody thought that I composed myself that song. It was in French. But then there is a German Dutch, no, a German Lama who know very well French. And he read and then he hear me sing with the in front of the Dalai Lama. He was so impressed. So he write in English, he write in German, he write in many language. But I don't know German, so I only know English. So I sing in English and in French. But I will sing in French first. That's my.
I asked Sister Khong to sing it at the end because there's one more question. I can't seem, I can't stop the chattering in my mind except for when I'm moving, dancing, singing, or some activities. But when my body is still, my mind goes nuts. What do you suggest I do?
So you just do meditation while dancing? Okay. I hope that I cannot dance while singing for you because my legs not strong enough. I used to dance while singing. Tình thủy trong bình. Is a tình thủy dịch sao? The nectar in the Dharma nectar in the hand of a bodhisattva. Từ trên tay Bồ Tát, from the hand of Avalokiteshvara, because people used to think that the person who have a great love like Avalokiteshvara, it means could be you, could be you, could be you. Every one of us can be Avalokiteshvara when we have a lot of deep listening and deep love. Then, and they said that in the hand of Avalokiteshvara, on the water, she pour or he pour on the desert. J'ai mal prononcé désert ou dessert. Pour on the desert, it will become a big field of green. Tình thủy trong bình từ trên tay Bồ Tát rót lên sa mạc thành biển xanh, rót lên sa mạc thành biển xanh mênh mông. Tình thủy trong bình từ trên tay Bồ Tát rót lên sa mạc, rót lên sa mạc thành biển xanh mênh mông. So you can dance and you read and you, without dancing, if you are more concentrated and more powerful to influence people, you stay without singing or without dancing. So it depends on what you feel appropriate and you feel at ease and you feel that your heart is open.
Shiko, actually there are two last questions. But don't worry because you still have plenty of time to sing at the end. So the two questions are, can you talk about the different qualities between the experience of sitting meditation and walking meditation in accessing the ultimate?
In accepting the ultimate.
In accessing.
In accessing.
Yeah, là đi vào bản môn. And the second one is, how does freedom taste? How does freedom taste? I can answer this question. We can just watch Sister Ting Khong when we can taste the freedom. Wow, there are three more. There are more and more.
Can you read loudly the how?
Yeah. Can you talk about the different qualities between the experience of sitting meditation and walking meditation to touch the ultimate?
I don't know. I do not touch ultimate yet. But I really feel that if sometimes sitting meditation cannot work, you have to try to standing and walk. And if it doesn't work, we sit again. But normally, after walking and you do not feel anything, you jump. It's okay. You do rocking meditation. It's okay too, provide that you feel relaxed. And I try to remember when Thai said that, you have to save yourself. I cannot breathe for you. I cannot walk for you. You have to save yourself. You cannot look like you are about to die like that, and then who will welcome your mom? Because I was working to bring my mom from Vietnam to France during the first year. And then you have to do it. And then slowly, I know how to handle. I have to, because the person outside cannot help you, but much less than by yourself. So Thai said, walk meditation. There is a beautiful tree. It looks like Thai Thanh Tử. Thai Thanh Tử is one of the great monks that I love. After Thai, is when Thai Thanh Tử will be my next second teacher. And he said, you walk and see the pine of Thai Thanh Tử is there. But I still cannot be happy at all. Until one day I walk, so exhausted, and I can no longer walk. And then a friend said that now it's time for cooking meditation. You have to cook, because if you don't cook, you let Thầy Thiện Thành cook, he will do something nobody can eat. So I have to cut. And I changed. And then because I was exhausted after walking the whole day, and then I do cooking meditation, I'm not fine. So when you do something like sitting meditation, you feel exhausted, and your mind is no longer clear, and then you change other position, maybe other position. The main point that you dwell in the very moment where you are doing. Like cooking meditation, I decided tonight I will do chestnut fry with some cinnamon, and then make a kind of crushing and to put inside of the pumpkin. It will be replacing, in Christmas in the West, people have to put chestnut with cinnamon inside of the chicken, and they roast 6 hours until everything is rolled in the chicken. But we are vegetarian, so I do it pumpkin. So I prepare the chestnut very beautifully. I do. And so my mind go with chestnut and pumpkin and cinnamon, and then I forget, and then I feel enlightened when the cinnamon is pushed into the oven. They will take 6 hours, from small fire go until the perfume of the cinnamon and the chestnut, and very good. So you change, but the main point is concentration. You must keep sitting meditation. You concentrate on what you concentrate, and when you stand up, you do the contact between your feet and the ground, feet in the ground, feet in the ground. So the main point is you try to keep your concentration on 1 or 2 points, not far from the practice that you do it. Do you have other thing to share?
No, I don't have other things to share, but I have other questions to share. Our friends have just brought 3 more questions. How do you follow, how do you know your deepest aspiration? Find your life path even when others disagree with your decisions.
For instance, you like to be monastic and you think that is your right path, but you stay about 2 months and then one sister shout at you. I thought that monastic do not shout like her. And other correct me, and then I think that monastic will be kinder. And then, and though you said that wrong path, I find other way. You have to be sure. If you feel unhappy with that way, maybe I have something not correct in walking meditation. So you have to find other friend. Can you tell me why I disagree with the way that sister explained to me? This true story of one sister who was born in United States. She's an orphan from Vietnam. But the last day of Vietnam, Mr. Johnson feel very bad and brought all the orphan from Vietnam he knew to United States. And the plane crashed. One survivor, one girl. And then she was adopted by French, American family. And she become quite different from the family which adopt her. But then when she met with Thầy, she know that is my right path. I will go to that path, and she become monastic. But as trained in United States, I don't know if it's correct, but they say that every week you have to report to the teacher that you have read that book, 2, 3 books. You are trained to read very quick many good books that your professor asked you to do. And so when she came to Plum Village, she was asked to read the precept book, and so. But after that, her mind is still empty. So she looked at the library. There's any book she read, and once she said, "You are young novice. You are not allowed to read so many books. Only book of Thai." But book of Thai is not many in English at that time. And then other sister correct her. 2 or 3 sisters correct. She said maybe it's my wrong path, and my right path is a beggar like Buddha who go into each house to beg. So in France we can beg. So she left Plum Village. She go to Duras. She can obtain some bread somebody give her, and then she walk. And then she was think that she was successful, but then she went to United States and she walked. And in so many empty field, there's no many people. And so a car passed by, stop, ask her something, bring her to the bush, rape, and throw her until when she was wake up and somebody can carry home. And then she was sick, and after that she passed away. So it's normal that even your path is not monastic, or to be physician, or to be nurse, or to be, every path have difficulty. And don't surrender. You ask that question to that person, she answer, you are not sure. Find other question, other sister, until you have a kind of agreement, and until you have to be careful. Don't abandon right away your path. If you think that you consider the best path, it means if you have that good path, try to continue and to stay. And if you have difficulty, if that person cannot help you, find other person. At least that person should wait. That sister should wait Thai. She never asked Thai. She never asked even me. until I learned that it's too late. I am one of the big sisters, and if I cannot help, I will ask Thai. I will not let lose one sister like that.
I'm sorry, now it's time for Shuko to sing. But I will read the questions because this afternoon you will be in Dharma sharing, and I know that we are sure that many of you have experience to share to those questions. How do I talk to a 13-year-old girl about war, present war and old war? What is the difference between letting go and giving up? Sometimes I have a decision to make and I'm torn between rationality and strong emotions. I know my emotions carry a message, but how to trust myself to make the right decision. So you have many topics to share this afternoon in Dharma sharing.
That question remind me to answer the last question about leaving that direction you have chosen, and then you are not sure, and then you use other direction. So that is the teaching of Thai about anger. When you are angry, I remember the first year of his teaching in Plum Village. He said that because there is a real couple who the husband is a Catholic priest who disrobed, and the wife is a Buddhist, very devout lay people, and then they quarrel all the time, and Thai said that when you are angry, you have strong emotion, don't make any decision. Just go back to your in breath and out breath, and practice walking meditation, sitting meditation, and don't answer. Don't answer to the person who provoked your anger, or you said very little thing and he was angry. Both of you have a very wrong perception of, let A and B. A say something, B have a wrong perception on what A said, or A say something, B have vice versa. And so, because your perception, according to the Buddha, when you see me, today we are, let's say, 200%. There are 200 perception about Sư Cô Khong. It's not the same. If we can take a photo of each, your perception about me is quite different. And our perception is always partial. One part is not all. So you wait until the second day and you try to see the wonderful part, the positive part of other. In order to be angry at him, you say, I continue to be angry of what? But he has been so good like that. And the third day, the fourth day, the fifth day, if you can keep until the seventh day, and you will speak about your anger. So 7 days, you may discover new part of what the other person said. So you see when like B talked to A very strongly, and A was very angry, and A have very small image of B. But the second day, she's not so bad. She is like that. And the third day and 7 day, you have 7 image of the person who, for you, attacked you. But in fact, you see several other quality. And so you will speak about your anger. But you will not speak right away. You speak, yeah, I know that, I know that. And finally, when you tell 6 other quality of him, you feel that the act he has done to me is very little. So you also blame, but you blame in a very gentle way. You will not blame in a very hurting and very strong and very impolite way. And then the other, and so after reminding 6 other quality, you see that the bad action of him is very little. And so you also say, however, I still very hurt because the other day you have done like that. But then the 6 other quality you mentioned make the other person feel already comfort, feel bad about their misbehavior, and so they accept easily. Don't. That is my advice to all of you. When you are shocked by some attack from judgment in a very hurting way, please try not to answer right away. You promise to answer, but in 6 days or 7 days. At the 7th day, you tell your hurt, but in a beautiful way that the other one have to change. But if you, first day, you decide right away, you will make a mistake. And later on, you regret, you may blame in other way. And sometimes, if it's good, like that story I told several times already, but many people told me that it's very helpful because one man, when he's sick, he get a cold. His mom said that, "Oh, my poor darling, I will make a very good cold soup for you." It means hot soup with ginger, with coriander, with mushroom chopped into small piece, and then you a lot of water and very little porridge, and then you drink hot like that, and you sweat, and then you are okay. When you get a cold, you think that, oh, I'm sick, maybe I cannot go out. But then mom do like that, and I drank, and then I sweat, and I feel strong, and I feel the porridge is so good with ginger, with coriander, with mushroom chop, and then I can go to school. So that man is like that, but his girlfriend belonged to another family. When she was sick, she said, "Daddy, I don't want to go to school." And Daddy said, "Take Tylenol. It's not too bad. You take that, and you lie down. You slept about 5 or 10 minutes. You wake up, you are strong." And she was like that. But the education of her boyfriend is hot soup, ginger, coriander. And so I said that, he said that, "I'm too tired. I promised to go with you today, but I'm too tired." And he expect that she said that, "Never mind, I will make soup for you." But she said, she didn't say anything. She go and research for Tylenol. "Take that. You will overcome." She disagree. He disagree. He wait for hot soup, and she have other training. So the perception for her to love is to give good Tylenol, and for him, the perception is to love to make a sweet soup, the cold soup, and then they are angry for nothing. So don't answer right away. Maybe he like other thing, and so it works. So if you don't like Tylenol, when I was sick, and my daddy give me Tylenol. If you don't like that, what you want really? Hot soup, ginger, coriander. Okay. Give the phone of your mom. I will call and ask how she make the sweet soup for you. I will do for that for you. It's okay. And then they agree. So it depends on your perception. And if you wait for many days, it make your perception goes closer to what he need or what she need. And sometimes you have an appointment with her to go walk on the riverbank of the Seine, La Seine. And then when you wear the robe with the une châle, comment on dit en anglais? A scarf, very light and floating with the wind. But you love her for wearing that yellow châle, scarf. But that day she came not with the yellow scarf, but she wear with the red scarf, also very light. And suddenly you are angry because your sister like the red and she always make trouble to you every time you have something. You ask mom and she said, don't believe him, mom. He is really a spoiled boy of you. And that moment you are so angry with her, but she wear a red scarf. So that day, your girlfriend come with the red scarf. Suddenly, you are angry. She said, I don't want to go anywhere. Because the color of the scarf, or because the way he loved the porridge, cold porridge for those who are sick. Just like that. So you wait for 2, 3, 4 days, and then it's appear the real root of your disagreement, and you will not be angry at him at all or at her at all.
Thank you, Shiko. Thank you, dear friends, for your listening, and especially thank you, the translator, who is doing an excellent job. And so to end this morning sharing, Shiko will offer you the song that Shiko already mentioned. And I would like to add a few more details because this song is very, very special. Those of you who had the chance to listen to Thay's talk offered to a big audience of thousands of people, you know, every time Thay asked Sister Ching Khong to sing that song, when Thay was tired, when Thay didn't feel well and tired, and sometime in the middle of the Dharma talk, Thay asked Sister Ching Khong to sing that song, and during her singing, Thay practiced deep, mindful breathing to have more energy to continue the talk. And most of the time, Thay would ask Sister Ching Khong to sing that song at the end of his talk, and when people focus their attention on her singing, and very silently, Thay left the hall. Because our teacher, Thay, is very shy and very discreet. And this is how he left the hall silently without being noticed. So this is a song that Sister Ching Khong sang many, many, many times, and it became a very special song. And during, okay, I let you relax and enjoy the song.
You so good propaganda. So they said, oh, I thought that is a wonderful song, but it's nothing special at all. Je souris à l'étoile, je souris à l'étoile qui au ciel encore luit, au soleil qui lentement nous sort de la nuit, à ce jour qui commence, à l'oiseau qui m'enchante. Je souris au monde et le monde me sourit. Je souris à l'enfant qui vient sur mon chemin. Je pense aussi à tous ceux qui ont faim, ceux qui loin dans ce monde vivent dans la misère, qui ont connu la guerre, qui ont perdu leur mère. Si parfois mon sourire se mouille de pleurs, en voyant dans ce monde une profonde douleur, je veux sourire encore à travers mes pleurs, sourire à la vie, sourire à la mort. Et un jour peut-être, quand il fera très froid, où je ne laisserai plus la trace de mes pas, par le courant de la vie qui jamais ne s'arrête, me laisserai-je entraîner sans regarder derrière. La peur alors ne fermera plus le chemin. Mon cœur tout grand s'ouvrira enfin. Je deviendrai alors le sourire de la terre, de la fleur, de l'oiseau, de la pluie et du vent. Et un jour peut-être, dans un tout petit enfant, je rouvrirai les yeux aux merveilles de la vie. Et un peu plus aimant, un peu plus souriant, je continuerai ce beau chemin. I smile to the star that still shine in the sky, to the sun that slowly guides us out of the night, to the day that begins, to the enchanting bird. I smile to the world, and the world smiles to me. I smile to the child that crosses my way. I remember also on those who are hungry, those who live in misery all over the planet, who have to face the war, who lost their mother. If sometime my smile is moistened by tears, when I see the great pain that spread over the world, I shall still be smiling with tears in my eyes, smiling to life, smiling to death. And one day will come when it is bitterly cold, when even my footstep would not leave any mark. The never-ending current of life's energy will carry me along, and I will not look back. The fear will no longer block my way. My heart finally opens very wide. Then I will become the smile of the earth, of the flower, of the rain, of the sun and the wind. And one day, perhaps, in a very small child, I will open my eyes to the wonders of life, and a little more loving, and a little more smiling, I will continue this wonderful way. En vietnamien, j'ai déjà traduit, mais j'ai oublié d'apporter. Je me rappelle pas. Je parle plus.